They called him Defective long before he learned what the word meant, Unit A-17, though he secretly clung to the name his mother whispered once. Cale sat curled in a dim maintenance chamber beneath Deck 92 of the Ascendancy Dreadnought Eclipse. Cold alloy cuffs bound his wrists, ankles, and the base of his delicate bioluminescent tail. Each chain was reinforced with shock coils, designed for creatures far stronger than him, but still the soldiers insisted he was dangerous. He hadn't spoken in days. Speaking only earned him corrections, electric ones, Cale's species. The Lysari were famed for their precision and uniformity. Perfect memory. Perfect obedience. Perfect emotional control. But Cale was a flaw in their engineered design. Too curious, too empathetic, too easily distracted. His eyes glowed brighter than they should have, shifting shades with his feelings like an untrained beacon. His mind wandered. His questions multiplied. He felt too much in the Ascendancy. Did not tolerate deviations. So they locked him beneath a warship and waited for the High Directorate to decide whether he should be scrapped or rewired. He tried not to hope for either. Zara Calder had been having the worst morning of her week even before she heard the crying. The 34-year-old human mechanic was grease-smudged, underslept, and one late shift away from asking the universe why it hated her. The Eclipse, a joint vessel between the human-led Coalition and the Ascendancy, was a technological nightmare, a hybrid ship with mismatched standards. Impossible wiring and a ventilation system that hissed like it held grudges. Zara had been crawling through a cramped service corridor when she caught it, a tremor. Too soft for machinery. A muffled sob. She froze. Human instinct, said child. Naval instinct, said problem. And Zara never ignored either. She followed it to an unmarked access door sealed with a standard Ascendancy lock. A simple override peeled it open. The room inside was barely large enough for a tool cart. And the boy chained to the floor, Zara's breath locked in her chest. He was small, maybe 12 by human appearance, though alien lifespans were tricky. His skin shimmered like pearl under moonlight. His hair was white-blue, soft and tangled. His eyes, wide with terror, blazed gold when he looked up at her. Not a soldier, not a prisoner of war, a child. Hey, Zara said softly, raising her hands to show she was unarmed. Easy, kid. I'm not here to hurt you. The boy flinched anyway. A shock coil crackled warningly. Zara swore under her breath. Humans and Ascendancy had a fragile peace, but she knew one thing. The Coalition would never approve of a child kept like this. What's your name? She tried. He hesitated, eyes darting to the door as if expecting punishment even for answering. Cale, he whispered. Zara felt something hot coil in her chest. That's a good name. She knelt, inspecting the chains. I'm Zara, mechanic, human, mostly harmless unless you insult my wrench. A faint, confused blink. It was almost enough to make her smile, almost. Cale, who did this to you? My directives unit, he murmured. I am defective. I failed mental calibration. I disrupt harmony. Zara stared. Defective? She gestured broadly. You're a kid. Not a toaster. He didn't understand the reference, but he understood her tone. His eyes flickered violet, this time, fear mixed with something painfully fragile. Hope. And Zara made a decision. A reckless, career-ending, absolutely human decision. She was going to cut every chain, removing. Ascendancy restraints wasn't hard. They relied too much on intimidation and not enough on engineering sense. Within 3 minutes, Zara disabled 2 shock coils. Within 5, she cracked the central locking brace. Cale watched with trembling disbelief. You shouldn't, he whispered. They will punish you. They can try, Zara muttered, yanking a power conduit. But I'm not leaving you down here. Another clamp came loose. He gasped as his tail uncurled. Freed for the first time in weeks. Then the alarm shrieked. Zara froze. Cale's face drained of color. They are coming, please. Run. Zara grabbed her wrench and stood between him and the door. Kid, you really don't know humans, do you? The door burst open. 2 Ascendancy officers stormed in, sleek armor humming. Human mechanic, one snapped. Step away from the defective unit. Zara tilted her head. You call this a unit? He's a child? He is a malfunction. A danger to Lysari's stability. Return him at once. Zara tightened her grip on the wrench. No. The officers raised their shock rifles. Kale let out a tiny, broken sound, but before either soldier fired, a pulse of light burst from Kale's skin, bright, brilliant, blinding. The officers stumbled, disoriented. Kale clamped both hands to his temples. No, I didn't mean get out. Zara dropped to her knees beside him. Hey, Kale, listen to me. He shook uncontrollably. Lights flickered. The air vibrated. His fear was triggering some kind of uncontrolled energy surge. Zara wrapped her arms around him, and slowly, impossibly, the glow dimmed. Kale blinked up at her in awe. You calmed me. Yeah, well, humans are good at messy emotions. Comes with the species. The officers, recovering, staggered upright. Enough. Step aside or we will stun both of you. Zara growled. Touch him and I'll turn your rifles into salad tongs. But then the cum crackled. Ascendancy officers. Stand down, came Captain Myrick's voice, human, authoritative. You are in violation of Coalition juvenile protection protocols. The boy is to be released to medical custody immediately. The officers froze. Zara exhaled shakily. Kale just stared at her like she'd moved a planet. Later. After medbay scans, after frightened questions from doctors, after a furious political argument that Zara only caught through walls, the captain called her in. You violated jurisdiction, he said sternly. Broke into a restricted chamber. Interfered with ascendancy process. Zara braced herself. Then he added quietly, You also saved a child's life. Good work, Calder. Zara blinked. I'm not fired? Consider this your official warning, he said, though his tone suggested pride. Unofficially? I'd have done the same. She left the office with a grin she couldn't suppress. Kale waited in the medbay. Wrapped in a thermal blanket, eyes glowing soft green, the color Zara now recognized as calm when he saw her. He stood immediately. Zara, he said tentatively, am I still defective? She crouched in front of him. No, she said firmly. You're different. That's not a flaw. That's potential. His eyes brightened. Potential. That's right. She ruffled his hair. And we humans? We protect our own. Even the ones we adopt accidentally. Adopt? Zara groaned. Oh, stars, kid, that's not what I meant. But Kale smiled small. Shy, luminous and Zara realized she didn't actually mind the idea not one bit because humans didn't leave the vulnerable. Behind not in stories not in history not in the quiet bowels of a warship on the edge of the galaxy, not ever. And somewhere deep in the ship, the last discarded chains lay broken on a metal floor, never to bind him again.